The clock ticks differently in here. It's slower, heavier. Each tick echoes in the quiet of my room, a constant reminder of the life I left behind. I'm 82 years old, and if these walls could talk, they'd tell you my story. A story filled with love, with laughter, and now, with a few heavy regrets. I thought moving into a nursing home was the right thing to do, the responsible choice. But there are things nobody tells you. Things you only learn when the door closes behind you for the last time. Today, I want to share them with you. My 6 biggest regrets. The first regret, and perhaps the heaviest, is that I let go of my home too easily. I remember the day the for sale sign went up. It felt like a part of me was being sold off. That house wasn't just bricks and mortar. It was the place where I raised my children, where I measured their height on the doorframe, where my late husband and I danced in the kitchen to our favorite songs. Every scuff on the floor, every crack in the paint held a memory. People said it was just a building, that it was too much to maintain. But they didn't understand. Giving up my home was like giving up the keeper of my memories. Now, all I have are these few photographs on a sterile nightstand. I see young families moving into my neighborhood, and a sharp pang of regret hits me. I wish I had fought harder to stay, to find a way, anyway, to remain in the place where my heart still lives. My second regret is losing my independence. It happens so gradually, you barely notice it at first. It starts with small things, like someone telling you when it's time to eat, when it's time for your medication. Before you know it, your entire day is scheduled by others. I used to love waking up with the sun, making my own coffee, deciding on a whim to go for a walk in the park or visit a friend. Now, my world has shrunk to these hallways. I need to ask for permission for things I once took for granted. The freedom to choose, to be spontaneous, that's a luxury I didn't appreciate until it was gone. It feels like being a child again, but without the joy of growing up. It's a slow erosion of self, and it's a regret that gnaws at me every single day. I miss the simple act of locking my own front door, knowing I was the master of my own small universe. This brings me to my third regret. I disconnected from my community. For over 50 years, I was part of a neighborhood. I knew the mailman by his first name. I chatted with Mrs. Gable from across the street about her prize-winning roses. I volunteered at the local library. We were a fabric, woven together by shared experiences and casual greetings. When I moved here, those threads were cut. My friends, many of whom are my age, find it difficult to visit. The distance, the formal visiting hours, it all creates a barrier. Phone calls aren't the same as sharing a cup of tea and a laugh. I feel like a ghost in the town I once called my own. I see pictures of community events online, and I feel a profound sense of isolation. I regret not making a more conscious effort to stay connected, to insist on being a part of the world outside these walls, before the distance grew too wide to cross. My fourth regret is a difficult one to admit. I underestimated the loneliness. You'd think being surrounded by people would prevent that. But it's a different kind of solitude here. We're all in the same boat, drifting in a sea of memories and ailments. We exchange pleasantries. We talk about the weather, but deep Meaningful connections are hard to forge. Everyone is carrying their own baggage of loss and longing. At night, when the lights are out, the silence is deafening. I miss the familiar sounds of my own home, the creak of the floorboards, the hum of the refrigerator. Here, the silence is filled with the unspoken sadness of many. I regret not preparing myself for this profound emotional isolation. I thought I was strong enough to handle it, but loneliness is a slow, cold ache that settles deep in your bones. The fifth regret circles back to family. I thought moving here would be less of a burden on my children. They have their own lives, their own families, their own worries. I didn't want them to have to care for me, but I see now that in trying to unburden them, I created a different kind of distance. Our visits now feel formal. They happen in a common room, with a clock on the wall ticking away the minutes until they have to leave. We don't have the easy, comfortable moments we used to share at my kitchen table. I miss the chaos of my grandchildren running through the house. I miss being a part of their daily lives, not just an appointment in their busy schedules. I regret assuming what they wanted, or what was best for them. Perhaps being a burden, as I called it, was just another word for being a family, and I took that away from us. And my final regret, my sixth, is that I gave up too soon. I see it now. The day I agreed to move, I stopped fighting. I stopped looking for alternatives. I accepted that this was the final chapter. But life is meant to be lived, not just waited out. I stopped planning for the future. I stopped learning new things. I surrendered to the idea that my best days were behind me. I regret not exploring options like in-home care more thoroughly, or modifications to my house that could have let me stay. I regret letting fear of the what-ifs dictate my biggest decision. Fear of falling, fear of being alone, fear of being a problem. That fear pushed me into a corner, and I accepted it as my fate. I wish I had held on to my spirit, my fight, for just a little longer. Life is precious, right to the very end, and I regret surrendering my role as the main character in my own story. So here I sit, in this comfortable, safe, and profoundly sad place. If you're listening to this, and you're facing these kinds of decisions for yourself or for a loved one, please take my words to heart. Cherish your home. Fight for your independence. Nurture your community. Don't underestimate the power of connection. Talk openly with your family. Don't make assumptions. And most importantly, never, ever give up on living. Don't let fear write your final chapter. My story isn't over yet, but I wish I had written these last few pages differently. Thank you for listening.